Interesting question everyone can ask themselves. What is the cause and what is the reason of our suffering? Why we have dissatisfaction sometimes or unhappiness? What is the reason for this? Someone may blame our neighbors, like all my problem because my neighbor suffer, he irritates me. Or someone may blame government, and at least it's very common in the West, like to say all my problem because of government. Or you may blame some external forces, like in Russia they always say in news, like all our problem because of America. So always what we have here, it's America. Same in America, they say all our problem because of Russia. So interesting, what's Buddha speak about suffering and about cause of suffering. So one sutta, what I like to explore today a little bit, in Samyutta Nikaya, sutta number 42.11, it's called Bhadrakasuttaṃ. So in that sutta, one head of the village or head of the town, his name was Bhadraka, he approached the Buddha and asked him, Bhante, may I hear from you a talk about arising and passing away of suffering? Please explain me this. And the Buddha replied to him that if I would say to you something about past or about future, you would not get confident. You would still feel some uncertainty and not be sure. But instead of this, I would teach you what you can experience right now and here with your personal experience. So he asked him, like, this is a town where you're the head of this town, and are there in this town some people because of whom you would suffer or grieve or experience unpleasantness if something would happen to them, if someone robbed them, for example, or even punish them or imprison or whatever. So if anything bad happened with that people, you would suffer. Are there such people? He said, yes, Bhante, of course there are such people. And the Buddha asked, but what about another kind of people? On account of them, you would not experience any feelings. He said, yes, there are such people in this town. On account of them, I would not worry. And he asked, and what is the cause? What is the reason? Because on account of one people, you experience suffering if something would happen to them. But on account of another people, you would not experience suffering. And Bhadraka replied that, Bhante, because on account of one people, I have a chandaraga, I have an interest and desire towards one people, and towards another people I don't have. That's why, because of one group of people, I can suffer, but because of another group of people, no. So the Buddha tell him, okay, please look carefully, realize in your present experience that cause of your suffering, chandaraga, interest and desire, and this can be applicable for past, future, for any other object. So the cause, according to Buddha's teaching, of our suffering, it's desire. And then Bhadraka says that, oh Bhante, so marvelous, so beautiful, the Dhamma, what you just explained, because it's indeed, I have a son, a little son, who lives separate from me, and every morning when I wake up with a worry, like, oh, what about my dear son? How is he? What's happening with him? Is he still healthy and everything good? And I send a messenger, oh, please go, man, and investigate what's happening with my son, then come back very fast. And until that moment when this messenger come back, I feel worry and feel anxiety, I feel uncertainty, or what's about my dear son, what's happening with him. So many parents are here, definitely experience this. if your child doesn't pick up your phone at night time or something, you see on the news some area is danger or whatever, like call, and it's a worry and anxiety. But on account of another people, there's no any worry, no anxiety. Like when I stayed in Sri Lanka, there was a news, at least my mother saw in Russia, there is a news that some flood happened in some part of Sri Lanka. There was some big flood. And there we had a kind of policy that we used the internet mostly once a week. And then she wrote me immediately the message, oh, how your health? Like I saw some news, some danger. And all this time, up to I reply, maybe a week almost, she feel like worry and anxiety, and she report like, oh, why you didn't reply so fast? Like, so it's happening in our life that because of people who we have a desire and have attachment, we suffer if we even imagine that something may happen to them, or to speak about real situation when something happens. So, and also in the sutta, Buddha asks, there is a mother of this son of yours, Bhadraka, and before you meet her, did you feel any attachment or desire or craving towards her? Bhadraka answered, no. Before I meet her, there wasn't any interest. How it may be, Bhante? Like I didn't know about her. I didn't see her. And the Buddha also says that you see, like, just on account of that you meet her, that there was a contact with eye, there was this just happening. I just, for example, see someone. And this is a cause of attachment and desire. Because in our mind we imagine like, oh, just, we are part of one with this person or whatever, like some karma, meet us. So, yeah, definitely there's some part of this, but the main reason why we can generate some desire and craving, because of contact happening, contact of pleasant object with our eyes, and there is a desire arise. So quite difficult task Buddha asks us to do, to abandon and let go of desires and cravings. And how to do it? Yeah, like when I first time hear this, and when I start to explore my mind, the thoughts occur to my mind that like it's just impossible. There's no way. The Buddha, he was a special, but I no way. But the teachers usually encourage that the more often we see, first we acknowledge that we have a suffering, we have a dissatisfaction, that this life not full of happiness. And then try to carefully see what is the reason, what is the cause, like why I'm suffering. And try to explore on your experience this second noble truth, that the cause of suffering is attachment and desire and craving. Then this is alone, if we see it again and again in our experience, this is alone will lead to insight. Then you would try to let go of this desire. So if they always give a simile with a child and the fire, child first investigate, fire, very interesting object, very like entertainment, and it's like bright. But as soon as he touch and realize that it's pleasant on touch, he would never, or maybe one more time, but he would not constantly go there, because of some insight come to his mind that it's burning, it's just dukkha, it's suffering. So same way we have to see that the cause of our suffering is craving and attachment. And then hopefully someday, sometime, for someone more earlier, for someone later, we may realize that these are the things would need to be abandoned. We need to let go of this, and some happiness would come, what we would not expect. Because usually the way how the world works, material world, we get something and we get some happiness. We attain something, we get some relationship. So through getting, we generate some happiness. It's a normal way of our behavior. But here it's totally opposite. Through letting go, we just stop crave, stop have a desire, stop go towards this sensual object. And this is alone will lead to internal happiness. So yeah, I wish all of us to generate this more refined, more subtle happiness, and the taste for this happiness also need to be generated and developed. So I offer this for your reflection today.